wasn't George Floyd Square at the time. It's what I know it as now, but it was 38th in Chicago.
Yep.
And so I said, yeah, I'll go down there. I thought they were going down there to go check it out. They sent me off. I was down there, but they thought I wasn't gonna go.
It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie. Yeah. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me? I'm so cursed up. I'm the last man standing, but I went first up. Most hated, they don't say it when I roll up. The things that people say about me, they don't say close up. Check it.
All right, you ready to go? All right, another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show, live on Lake Street. Very special guest today. We got Andrew Mercado from Mercado Media. So I'm going to start with this. So it's funny because we get mixed up over here in like media wars and like who's the best platform, who's the biggest platform. And we said something on one of our posts and you got tagged a bunch of times. We're like, well, actually, y'all ain't shit because this guy right here. And so then we kind of went and started doing our research and we're like, oh shit, he really is. You're really doing like you're doing something special. And then my hindsight kicked in and I remember seeing some of your coverage from I'm going to call it the Unrest. I don't like the riots term, the Unrest, because I think it was warranted. And I feel like riots sound like it was just out of control, people being bad. And I don't think it was that. I think it was warranted. But I remember seeing some of your content from that time. And it's funny how that happens, right? It's like you've been around for a while.
Yeah, it's been around since those days, and it's like it's funny. I mean, we can get into how we got out there.
Yeah, I would love to know that.
Oh my goodness, I was out there. It was just like 2020. Like we were in like peak pandemic mode.
Yep.
Call of Duty Warzone was out. I was playing video games with my friends at home.
Yeah.
I was doing nothing. I didn't even have a social media following.
Hmm.
I was just chilling. I was in school to become an addiction counselor.
Yep.
I was trying to get my licensed alcohol and drug counselor certificate so that way I can I wanted to go to the VA hospital in St. Cloud and work with veterans because I'm a veteran myself.
Yeah.
I wanted to go up there and work with veterans. So I'm at home and obviously the news came out and I changed my profile picture to George Floyd. Like it was like already 2 days already past Chauvin's murder of George Floyd. And so I'm just at home playing Warzone and my friends around there like, hey, you going down to the memorial? George Floyd Square. It wasn't George Floyd Square at the time. It's what I know it as now, but it was 38th in Chicago.
Yep.
And so I said, yeah, I'll go down there. I thought they were going down there to go check it out. They sent me off. I was down there, but they thought I wasn't gonna go. So I went down there, and I'm down there.
So you're down there by yourself?
I was down there by myself. Okay. No friends.
Good friends.
Yeah, I know. Right? I'm cool with them now still, but they did not. I have like a thing where I can't pick up sarcasm immediately, but they were being sarcastic. But I was like, I saw the video, and like I was like already kind of drawn to it already. You know what I mean? So all I needed was a little bit of a pull already. Like, hey, we're gonna be down there. Okay, my friends are down there. Cool, I'm going down there because I got to see this. The other thing too, I was tired of the news. I was tired of watching the coronavirus briefing. So I wanted to go see what was going on for myself.
Yeah.
I was tired of the news. Went down there. I show up, and my friends are like, hey, while you're down there, you should go live. I didn't even know how to do that. The only live streams I ever saw were dudes in their car, smoking and just ranting to their live feeds or whatever to their Facebook page. So I was all right. So I figured it out, and I just went live and just showed some things that was happening, like a quick little 10-minute walk around 38th in Chicago. It was powerful out there. Like you could like the energy out there. I just still remember it, like at the memorial site before I went to the 3rd precinct, because I was gonna be done after that. Like I was done. It was like, okay, I feel it. Like I actually feel it out here, but I want to go home now because I wasn't too sure about what was gonna happen. You know what I mean? Because I've never taken myself into a real situation before.
Was there fear? Was there fear? Or not really?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a veteran too. I served in the military, but it was the fear of the unknown. Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure what was going to happen. So I was on my way out, and I still smoked cigarettes at the time. And so this guy asked me for a lighter, and I was walking by, and he's sitting in his car. And I gave him a lighter, and he said, hey, you heading down to the 3rd precinct? I said, oh, what's going on at the 3rd precinct? He said, I don't know, but it's getting busy over there. So I had to go over there, and I went live over there, and the rest is history. You know, I went live, and it was, it took off from there.
So prior to all of this, were you involved in the community at all, like in that community, or was it just was this kind of uncharted territory for you?
Completely uncharted territory. No roadmap, no manual. I was just out there, hit the live button, and I went from there. Literally, I didn't even have charger packs for my cell phone to stay out there long enough to be I had maybe 15% battery left on my phone. I didn't plan this, so I was ready to go home, and people were on my feet from Minneapolis, and I'm from St. Paul, so I don't really come over the river too often. You know? But I'm in Minneapolis. It's my home state. I want to see what's going on. And so there's just amazing people from Minneapolis that are like, hey, we got charger packs. We'll run them out to you. And we're commenting and messaging me. And I was just the people that were you could, there's a vibe or whatever, people that were serious about it, and then people that were like troll fakes or whatever. But the people that were serious showed up, and they came and brought me charger packs and cords to stay out there. And then they'd go back home and watch my feed when I was. Was
your live just doing crazy numbers?
Yeah, about the highest number that it got to was 68,000 concurrent.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that was the third night, but it was around 28,000 every single night.
Wow.
Yeah.
So while you're in the midst of all this, are you feeling did you feel like you found a calling in that moment, in that night, that day?
It didn't hit me until the next day, because and this is gonna sound, and I'm not even, this is gonna sound so silly, because I'm not even religious like this anymore. I'm more spiritual, but after that first day, I went home because I didn't have I have an LLC now. I didn't have anything. I'm telling you, I didn't have nothing. I had my little Facebook page. That was it. My little Facebook friends.
It was not Mercado Media.
No, it was just
and
myself.
Just you.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And I had an Instagram, but no, I wasn't trying to promote anything or trying to get a bigger social media following. I'm just
you're just kind of out there.
I'm just posting what's going on in my life.
Yeah.
But so. Oh, repeat the question one more time. Sorry, I
was asking if this felt like it was a calling for you.
Oh yeah, so it's gonna sound crazy, but when I got home, I was in the shower, and I'm just I'm just with the water, and I just feel it sounded like I have this internal voice in the back of my head, and it told me to start a media company. Start a media company. And I'm talking to myself in the shower, and this is after the first night. This is that Thursday, because I went out there every single night consecutively after that, and it said start a media company. I'm like, oh man, how am I going to start a media company? I don't even have money. I have money to pay my bills, but I don't even know what to do.
Right.
I don't even know what that would look like for me.
Yeah.
But I listened to it. I kept going back out there, listening to that call, that voice. It was my conscious or something. It was in the back of my head. But it was powerful enough for me to continue going back out there, and that's what I did.
Yeah, now you're you have a media company.
Yeah, I do.
A legitimate media company. You're for a lot of people, you probably replaced the news for them.
That's what I'm hearing from my dedicated viewers. Yes.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. You know, you're because it's not just, you're not just doing commentary on Minnesota. You're talking about the conflict in Ukraine, and I was going through your coverage is overwhelming because you're covering it all.
I'm trying to.
Do you do this all by yourself?
No, I have an amazing mod team that helps me out. That's been just they both volunteers and people that are a part of my team. Yeah. Because I have volunteers that'll moderate the chat, and that's kind of just a volunteer thing where they'll help in. If there's a troll that comes in while I'm streaming, or somebody that's spamming links or something, they can ban them out of my chat, so that way it's you know what I mean. So they help, and they've been around since nearly 3 years now. Oh my goodness.
How did you learn to do this? Because you basically went from no experience to just having a huge following. How did you learn to properly run essentially a global news? You got 50,000 followers, or 50,000 subscribers on YouTube. Mm-hmm. What is your following on Facebook? It's
108,000.
108. So that's a lot.
It's getting up. It's getting up there. It's just trial and error.
Yeah.
Like the biggest thing, because I didn't know what I was gonna do. It's just doing it. That's really all. That's really all it was. I mean, that's how I learned in the military when I served. Like my very first experience in the military was overseas deployment.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have any I went through basic training. And then I got to my unit, and we were trained for like a month. And then after that, we were like overseas already, like in the Middle East. And then my training was like my sergeant was like, "Hey, hop in the truck, let's go, time to go out on mission." So I feel like I've just kind of like I'm just used to like adapting to newer situations. But for this though, it's still like a learning process. It's not like I figured it all out yet at all. It's still like a daily, like I'm learning new things, and I'm constantly learning how to like adapt and do new things so I can continue to grow.
For sure. I'd imagine your military experience probably plays a big role in your ability to do this.
Yeah, looking through information and figuring out what's garbage and what's actually reliable information helps in news coverage significantly.
Yeah. And being in the field, I would
Yes.
assume. I mean, I don't know because I've never been in the military, but I have to assume that being out in the field in hostile environments, you kind of probably felt a little more comfortable than most out there would be my guess.
I was actually pretty comfortable. I actually got in trouble because I was still in the Army Reserves at the time. Because I served my time active duty, and then you got to do like a reserves contract afterwards to just fill out the whole of the contract. Because you fill out like a whole 8-year contract to start. You do your active duty, and then if you don't do all 8 years active, you have a choice to go reserve or inactive. So I still had all my gear. I went out there with my Kevlar on, my helmet, because like they were out. The Minneapolis police were out there with the door open.
I believe I remember seeing this.
Yeah, they were just like Grand Theft Auto cops out there, like just popping people. So I was taking no risks because I brought my helmet out there. I had my PT belt. I had a reflective belt on, so they would like try not to shoot me. Because I was out there just trying to like record what was happening.
Did you have like a media badge on?
No, I didn't have anything like that.
I thought you did for some reason.
I got one eventually after a few months after I started traveling to other cities in the United States, and like my following made me one.
Yeah, I want to talk about that too, the traveling around.
Yeah.
So what was your reason for traveling? Was it separate incidents in each one of these places? Because you traveled to quite a few states doing coverage.
Yeah, it was just the protests just continued. I mean, Portland, they protested for like a year straight. Like they went hard for like a year straight outside that Justice Center, and there was just continuous protests throughout the country. So I was like, well, I went through the unrest portion of what happened, and now that only lasted like 4 days though, and then it was
seemed like it was a month.
Yeah,
it was really.
It became marching after that though.
Yeah.
It became a lot of signs and chanting, and a lot of the message clearly was like, okay, it's time to like start marching and like sharing our voice now.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to follow that now. And like, 'cause I was like, oh man, I just saw buildings on fire, and like, but now I'm seeing like, and I'm hearing people share their message and press conferences, and I'm like seeing like people, and it was
peaceful protest.
It was just an amazing thing to see. But I wanted to continue seeing that, and it was happening all through the country, and I just went to different places and continued following it.
Were you there for the Kyle Rittenhouse situation?
He ran right in front of me out there, yeah.
No.
So that's actually another story.
Wow.
That's actually another story.
Oh, shit.
We were on our way to Washington, D.C. for the March on Washington. Al Sharpton and Martin Luther King III was leading a protest out there, and we went anyways. But, but we were on our way there. We were in Chicago in a hotel. And we just finally got there and unpacked, and I was with another streamer from Seattle who had streamed inside the Chop. And like, we like met up through what I'm doing, what he's doing, like our fan bases like put us together, it's just how it works when you're out there doing the thing. And so like we met up, and he flew into Minneapolis, and like he like showed his Seattle following like what George Floyd Square looked like, and all of the memorials that we have down there, and it's just like all of the artwork, and like it was obviously just a lot to look at too.
Yeah.
So he showed his Seattle following that because they had saw what the Chop was. So we're on our way to Washington D.C., and we're in the hotel, and I just get like just a blast of messages about Jacob Blake, and just like the news about it, and just like he shot 9 times, and just like point blank.
I called it the Kyle Rittenhouse situation. It was the Jacob Blake situation.
Oh my goodness, it was like,
that was awful.
It was like, what? Oh, here we go. Like so instantly, like we didn't even think about it. Oh, I did. I can't even lie. I was like, man, I don't really want to go like into another situation again.
Yeah.
Like I'm not, but we did anyways. So we loaded up, got from Chicago to Kenosha, Wisconsin. Never even heard of Kenosha before. I never been there.
Sure.
You know, it's a smaller town. It's on the lake. It's a pretty nice town actually. But I mean, we showed up there and it was immediate. Like the first night, it was the Kyle Rittenhouse was the third night. But the first night we pulled up there and we parked the truck and we were right there in front of the police, in front of the police station, streaming.
Just madness.
Just immediately.
And then so on the third day, like literally Kyle Rittenhouse ran in front of you.
Yes, he did.
AR in hand.
Yes, he did. Yep, he ran in front of me, and actually, I was actually an idiot in the situation because like when you're out there, it's hindsight's 20/20. When you have available all the footage now,
Yeah.
But when I'm out there, and even while I'm on my stream, because my stream it's still up on YouTube. They didn't even take it down. I was echoing what the group was saying, and they were trying to say that he wasn't the shooter at the time. So like he's running in front of me, and like the crowd's following him because they're like, who was the shooter or whatever? Because it was just like it wasn't just his gunshots. There was gunshots like besides his too.
Yeah.
Like there was just like chaos out there when that thing was happening. But he ran in front of me, and I was an idiot. And I was wrong. I was saying he's not the shooter. He's not the shooter because people were trying to echo it because people were following him, and it just was like it didn't look like it was gonna go well because people were following him, and like if he just killed someone, like obviously if people are gonna follow him, like he's about to kill some more people.
Yeah,
like,
if he's willing to kill.
Right,
yeah,
right. So the only reason why I was saying he was not the shooter was to try to keep people away from him.
Yeah.
In case he was gonna continue to kill, which I mean he did. Which and then we were walking down the street, and I was like, oh man, this is how it happens. Oh no! And then all of a sudden, just like the gunshots started, and I'm just like, all I could do was just pull people out of the street into the bushes along that roadway because it was like he was like right there. Like I still vividly remember that night.
So that's really interesting to me because for a long time this was a conversation filled with contention because there was a lot of people saying this kid was a menace, a nightmare, and then there was a lot of people sticking up for him saying no, you misunderstood what was happening, what he was doing. So from your perspective,
you want to hear my perspective?
Yes, I really do,
bro. So like let's check this out. So Kenosha, it's already the third night. And by this night, it's like they have like the National Guard in the city. They got like the feds. They have snipers on the rooftop. You know what I mean? And we were all inside of like their government plaza to start with. And like I say we because like the press is out there too, and like the protest is there.
Yeah.
And it was lit up area, like just like if they wanted to do a kettle, which is like when the police like surround protesters and like they can easily just go in there and just start arresting people because there's no way out. Like they surround the protest. It's called a kettle. And it's like a kettle. It's like an easily kettleable park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like the guard, like the military was there. The military was there.
Yeah.
So that was in like the lit up area of the plaza of the government park that was there. And then down the road at the car park at the used car parking lots, it was completely dark down there. There was no police down there. No law enforcement, but it was the militia down there. It was completely dark. Like, and all the protesters weren't down there. Nobody was down there. Everybody was up in the government plaza. Nobody was smashing shit. Nobody was burning anything at this night because this was the third night now, right? And all of the militia was down there. Everybody was protesting inside of the government plaza, which again, like if you're thinking like from a tactical perspective, like if you really wanted to arrest all of these protesters or keep them in an area, you have them in the area.
Yeah.
And you have like snipers watching them. You know what I mean? They're on the buildings and they're watching them.
Yeah.
And so the protesters are there. They gas all the protesters and all of the flashbang. So all the protesters are scattering. So like they're leaving the government area down into the city now. and they're interacting with the militia, and the militia's like fuck around and find out, like, you know, egging on the protesters, and like it's like it's becoming a bad situation because like, and then the protest like rallies back together, and like they go back up the road back to the area where the government is, and the police are, and like the buildings are at, and they did this like 3 times because we went back down into that gas station like 3 times, and then went back up there, and then by the 3rd time, that was when Rittenhouse grabbed the fire extinguisher, and then because we were in the gas station first, and he ran in front of me there first too, went down the road.
So this kid was just running all over Kenosha.
Yes, and the question I have too is why was it okay for Rittenhouse to grab his fire extinguisher and rifle and go take care of that when the FBI was watching that used car parking lot? The video that we're watching of him run down the road,
the one that he was supposedly protecting.
The feds were watching. The court video is from the FBI. They were watching that used car parking lot, so they were watching the people smashed it. It was on the camera.
So what do you think happened? Do you think he was just allowed to do it, or was he some type of plant, or?
No, I don't think he was a plant. He was like a genuine like dude that just showed up to try to protect the businesses, and also there's like a Kenosha. There was a alderman too that put out a post asking for help.
That's right.
He asked for like help militarily wise, like
that was, and allegedly his mom saw that and like sent.
I
right?
don't know about
I believe
that.
that's the story I heard, is that his mom saw the post and told him, "Here you go, honey."
Yeah, I don't.
Don't forget your AR.
I only saw him out there, but that's what brought all the militia there, and it's just so. That's so unsolved to me, why the police kept pushing the protests down into the militia area where there was no lights, and it was like, if you think they were trying to like protect the buildings and the businesses, why would they push the protests down into the militia area? It's weird.
Super sketchy.
It's super sketchy.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Almost kind of like to have the militia deal with the protests in a sense, and that's what it felt like too.
Yep,
that's 100% what it felt like.
And that was my thing with Rittenhouse too, is kind of like you said, like there was military, there was cops, there were feds. Like what?
They had everybody in there in Kenosha.
They didn't need Kyle Rittenhouse.
No, I don't.
Who was what, 16?
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't even know.
That's
no like lifeguard training. Didn't even have like EMT training or like actual, you know. But and it's gonna be wild because I streamed the court case too. So I not only was I out there for it. Yep. I did the whole trial too. Afterwards.
And you do your own commentary, right?
I tried not to, just to try to provide like a unbiased view of it. Yeah. But it was so hard because like I was out there for it. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like it was tough not to like be. Oh man, I'm still like feeling a fire in my chest about it because it's just like like how they gave so much permission to the militia that was out there, and we interviewed the militia group out there and everything, and they didn't have a plan. The police were thanking them and shit out there, giving the militia group water. It was horrible. It was so stupid. Wow. It was such a stupid situation.
That's wild. That's interesting. That's a really interesting perspective. So another thing I'm really interested in your perspective on is, there's been a lot. It seems like it's ramping up more and more every day. I don't know if you even want to call them trolls or just people that seemingly have this opinion, but it seems like it started with Charleston White and his view on George Floyd and this like utter lack of, I don't even know what to call it, but there's this perspective out there that's rolling around. It's becoming very prominent. There's another local guy that does a show that also has the same opinion, that George Floyd was not a hero. George Floyd is not, that he deserved to die. He was a bad person. He was. They're gonna clip that. With me saying that now.
They're gonna take you out of perspective. That's how they do it.
I'm curious about, as someone that was, I know you weren't out there when he was murdered, but
I went to his funeral.
Yeah, and clearly that is the position you stand in, is that it was murder, it was wrong, and I'm with you, but I'm curious about your perspective on this.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. So if I'm going to be real about it, before all of this happened,
and you covered the Chauvin trial as well.
I did. Yes. Before all of this happened, like before I brought myself out there, I would have probably been one of those ignorant people believing the dumbass opinions about it, because I was just ignorant. I never took myself into a situation. I never tried to open my mind to anything. I was just like I was literally at home, listening to the news or like listening to what they told me. So like I would like thought protests were like, you know what I mean? I had very negative views on protests.
The media did a really good job. Mainstream media did a really good job of making it look like.
That is what caused me to start my own, because I was out there, and then the messaging too with it, and like how the news was trying to like get certain, like even when I was doing interviews with the news, they were like trying to get certain talking points out of me. Yeah, I could easily tell. I was with a peaceful protest, and like this one news was like, so when do you think the riots are gonna start again? Like, dude, like I'm like I don't know, I don't lead this, and like plus I'm like we're like outside of U.S. Bank Stadium, and like everyone's kneeling, and there's like oh my God, this day. Maybe tens of thousands of people.
When do you think they're going to get up off of their knee and start riding again? That's a wild question.
Just stupid questions. And but clearly targeted questions that, you know, that they're trying to get something out of you. So that's another thing that just motivated me to just start my own, because it's just, and it was from the news stuff that I used to like get my information from. So I was like, okay, I've been duped. All right. I had the wrong beliefs. I clearly, because I saw it for myself, and I saw what the sources that I used to go to, how they lied about it, and they were clearly lying, because like I'm out here, I'm seeing it now, and like how are y'all about to say that it's something else? Yeah. So, well, yeah, George Floyd, the messaging, and it's just how they try to shift the weight off of Derek Chauvin. That's all it is. It's just either they love the police to the point where they can't even just like call out a blatant murder in broad daylight. And it's just like sickening. Or again, they just want to be a troll. You know, they just want to like because you support a clear wrong. You know what I mean? Like when you're trying to call out like a wrong by the police, and it's just like so blatant, and it was just like so egregious. Nothing even to talk about, really, in my opinion.
I agree with you.
You know, when you see that,
it's on video, we saw it.
Yeah, and then it's just like there's nothing that you can calculate it down. It's just like they're being a troll. They're trying to get into your head, and we don't even, on my platforms, those types of people, we don't even let them hang out in our communities too often.
That's too good. Long. That's why a big part of the reason why you're here, because I think that platforms like yours need as much shine as they can get, because you're delivering the real news. I mean, you just said it, like you had opinions on Kyle Rittenhouse, and you tried to just unbiasedly cover it.
Yeah, I try as best as I can.
But the fact that you can even say that, you know what I mean? Like Channel 11 is not going to say that.
A lot of my.
That was an example. No shots at Channel 11. Just an example.
They're going to clip that. That's what I tried to when I was first out there, and I still get like troll comments like, I thought you were unbiased news, because like sometimes it's hard because you've been so invested, or you're covering a story for so long, and you have like an educated opinion on it. Like you can provide something beyond just like this is what's happening. Yeah. You can provide like a little bit of an analysis to it too. And so like when I first started out there, I was like, this is like I'm unbiased news, and I should never have said that, because it's hard. Like I should have just been real about, you know, I'm going to try to provide the news as best as I can and leave my opinions out, but sometimes it's hard.
Well, you're a person. Yeah. You're a person. So, I mean, you're going to have your opinions. You're right. You probably shouldn't have said that.
No, I shouldn't have said that at all.
You put yourself in a box right away.
I did.
But we all do. I mean, we all do that. I mean, I'm sure I can't think of a specific example. I'm certain I've boxed myself in here as well. You know, people think the same thing about me. You know, you just talk to the, you know, the favorites, but whatever. Yeah. Anyways. So, how long has Mercado Media been a publication?
August of 2020, right after the
so 2020. Oh. So 3 years. Not even 3 years.
Not even 3 years. Well, it's been May was when I started my stream on my personal account, and then I created Mercado Media in Kenosha.
So about almost 3 years since the stream started. Nearly 3 years. It'll be 3 years in August since your media company. So, Jesus, you've accomplished a lot in 3 years, under 3 years.
Yeah.
So first of all, congratulations on that. And second of all, do you have a plan going forward? Like, do you have goals? You set goals? You have plans on what you want to do with this?
Actually, yeah, I want to take it and start doing videos, because I do streams. I can go out to a location and go live, you know, but I want to I'm saving up for a high quality camera, like a Sony, higher video quality. I want to provide like documentary style reporting.
Yeah.
Out there, like high quality, like on YouTube, and people like that, and you can make reels and shorts out of it because the people that don't have the attention span to like watch like a longer form of content, at least they can watch like the short, and it's still high quality video.
Yeah.
Because as much as the stream provides like a even if I'm talking over it, it's still like an unfiltered view into something because it's a live stream.
For sure.
Even if I'm talking over it, you're still seeing what's happening. But the video quality still isn't all there yet for it. But I want to up my quality. So that's like my next venture is to get in higher quality video production. Like you have this amazing setup in here. That's just
thank you, man.
Absolute amazing. That's what I want to. That's what I'm trying to. Not like to do podcasting, maybe in the future.
Yeah.
But it's like that's where I want to go with it.
I don't even know what a podcast is anymore. It's all the waters are all muddied.
That's what everyone says. I do like a war podcast.
Yeah.
It's like, but I don't feel like I do. I just
I don't even consider this a podcast. I consider this a show.
This is comfortable. That's what I consider. And this is nice. This is you do very good work here. I hope that you also, while you're giving me praises, you guys here continue this work. This is you guys have a great setup here. Everybody that's watching, they have an amazing studio here. Everything that goes into this work, you don't even know.
That's a fact. Thank you, man. And for that is something that people definitely don't know about.
Like this is great. Like they got their thing going on here, y'all, and platforms like this, because I don't get the opportunity to like sit and talk to people too often for like too long, but this is what's up too, because conversations are what continue to like help us move forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we are the new school news essentially.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, especially you're literally delivering global news on a daily basis. The amount of content that you have is it's overwhelming. It's so much. So it makes sense to me that you have the following that you have, because people are literally replacing their 5 o'clock news with Mercado Media. They're going to your channel. They're going to your website. They're going to your Facebook page. They're going to your Instagram.
It's wild to think about. They've been around for some big events on independent news platforms. Now it's not just me too. I mean, I'm blessed with a big following, but it's like other independent news out here too. Like I mean, Unicorn Riot in Minneapolis too. He's got even bigger platform than I do. Yeah. And Nico, but they got platform in Colorado, and like it's just a need for independent media, or people that aren't like a corporate conglomerate, like where they're being paid, and they're being paid to deliver a narrative.
Yeah,
you're getting genuine people.
Extremely important. Yeah. Extremely important, and you're changing the narrative when it comes to how we receive news. I mean, you're not the only one, but you are part of how we receive news. You know what I mean? You are, to me, obviously on a smaller level, but still important. It's no different than like Joe Rogan. I get my information from Joe Rogan because I know that I'm going to get the real. It's not going to be what you get from CNN. It's not going to be, and he's going to give pushback on anything that you do see on those big Fox News, CNN, and I think that you fall into that.
And I'm about it, and even if you don't just watch me too, I'm about people finding or like going to multiple different sources. Maybe you listen to your favorite content creator for like their opinions on it or their conversations about it. Then you go to like a hardline source for like frontline information, like current events. Yeah. And then you go back to a different source to hear their analysis on it, which is fine. Yeah. That's great. That's expanding your media literacy.
It's important.
If you're only using like one source, it's
like our parents.
Yeah.
The 5 o'clock
the 5
news.
o'clock news. Yeah.
Every day, that is the only place, and it's funny because they still have that perspective.
Yeah, they do.
It's hard to change.
They won't even watch me.
That's what I'm saying. It's like they just like, no, well, the news said it.
I know
what the news said, but you can learn more just on Twitter.
That's where I'm doing my news coverage now. A lot of it's coming from Telegram, and then it gets posted to Twitter, and then all I do really, a lot of my work that I do now, because I'm not really out there in person, I'm recuperating, but a lot of it is just browsing Twitter, and because all the official accounts are posting information. Yeah. So all I gotta do is go live, and here it is, because a lot of people aren't on Twitter. Like maybe they just don't have it. Mm-hmm. So I get to show them what's going on. A lot of videos are posted there. So.
Yeah. What is the Twitter?
MMP LLC News, Mercado Media. You should be able to find it.
News. Okay. Yeah. We'll put it in the comment or in the the description too. So another thing that I want to make sure that we cover, because I think it's another important topic, is your struggles with addiction. Because I feel like, well, to be honest with you, I feel like everybody struggles with some form of addiction. It's not drugs or alcohol for everyone. For some people, it's social media. Some people, it's you can be addicted to damn near anything.
Absolutely.
But not only just your struggles with addiction, but what you've done to counteract your addiction, and also your helping other people. So did your addiction, has this been something you struggled with for a very long time, or is this something that came up? Was it military related? Was it?
It was after I got out of the military. It was like 2017, because like when I got out, I didn't fall into the addiction right away. It was, I lost like my people, like all my friends, like, because I got into the military when I was 19, so like all of my high school friends, and like they all went to college or whatever and made new friends. All my friends were in the military, like they still are to this day. And so when I got out, I didn't have really I didn't know what I was going to do. I think I got out of the military a little too early. I should have stayed in a little bit more, matured a little bit more, at least through my 20s, and then figured it out. But I got out when I was like 22, and I was not ready. I was not ready to get out, because I wasn't even ready for the real world. The military was a good direction, just to have me in a place to like figure it out. At least I'm getting, as shitty as being in that kind of situation could be. At least I was getting a paycheck, and like it was a stable situation being in the military. As unstable as that could sound, it was still stable. And then going from that, and then now I'm back out here again. It's like, oh man.
No, I wouldn't even say back out. Like that was really your first. That was your first experience with the real world.
Yeah, that was.
You kind of skipped it by going into the military.
Yeah. So I got out, and I wasn't really in the happiest place in my life, but I wasn't like in a bad place either. I was in an impressionable place, I'd say, in life. And one of my old friends showed up at a bar one night that I was out to, and he's like, "Hey, you got like $20?" I was like, $20 for what? And he's like, "Don't worry about it." And I had done cocaine before, but I had never like got an addiction to it. Like it was like years before that at a New Year's Eve party. So like I wasn't scared to try it, but like wasn't addicted to it at that time, because obviously like I went into the military and like but this night, I mean, we did it, and it was like whatever, and then it just became like a once a weekend thing. I was like, "Hey, let's go out and do that again," type thing, because it was like a good time at first, and it always is. Like it always is a good time when you first do it, or when you first start like any addiction or whatever. And then it just progressed from there. It became we'd going out and doing coke and drinking on one weekend or once a week. Now it became 2 nights a week. Then it became Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yep. And then it became Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then it just became like every day. Then it became I was just working to just fuel my addiction, because like it was bad. It wasn't horrible. Like I wasn't doing a whole like massive amounts, but it was enough to where it was a problem. It was like
and probably could have
paychecks were going away.
Could have become an even bigger problem.
Yep. So it was only a couple years, 2 years of addiction. I went into the VA treatment first, at the VA hospital in St. Cloud. It looks like the X-Men Academy up there.
I heard it's a great facility.
Oh, they do a pretty good job. I wish I would have put more time into it. I wasn't ready to move on from that. When I first went to treatment, I didn't put as much energy into it. I didn't care about the small group as much. I would just go back to my bed and go to sleep.
Yeah.
But I mean, then I went back out after that first round of treatment in 2018. We used again the whole rest of the year of 2018, and then finally, like January 25th, 2019, I was like, all right, I'm done now. I'm done. I'm ready to be done. So I went to Minnesota Adult and Teen Challenge. I did the whole thing. I was just like, whatever I got to do, whatever the program needs me to do, wherever they want to put me, and I just let them just do everything that I had to do. I went to every small group I needed to do, all the little homework that they gave us that we had to do in treatment, because I was in there for 30 days. So we had to do tasks, and I just did it all finally. Yeah. Just because I'm done with this, because I don't want to be like this anymore. Yeah. I don't want to live like this anymore.
And we know where it goes. It doesn't, it's not going to just be doing a few lines every day. It's going to turn into
it became deeper, and I thought it couldn't happen to me, and it's so silly to say that. Everybody says that, but it's like it's slow. It was like a slow burn for me. It became an addiction over time. Maybe it was an addiction right away because I developed a pattern of doing it every week, and then I just did it more. But regardless, it kept escalating even more and more and more.
Yeah.
So I finally went to treatment, 30 days, sober house, went into a sober living environment, like intensive sober living. So we were mandated to go to meetings, and we had to go to church because it was a religious based. And again, like I said, I'm not even that religious, but I didn't care. I was like, whatever I needed to do.
Just wanted to be done with it.
Right. Whatever you got for me to do. If it's something religious, I'll do it. Whatever. Because I was done.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So how many?
It was 4 years in January 25th.
Congrats,
now,
man.
clean.
Congrats.
Thank you.
You're helping. You went into also helping others.
Yes.
Was that part of the treatment, or was that post treatment?
No, that was like just what I felt like I was called to, because I went to the treatment facility at the VA, and I wanted to provide more to it, because I didn't really get much out of it myself. Maybe, again, like I said, maybe if I would have went into it with a different mindset, but I felt like I wanted to provide to other veterans at the VA hospital. I wanted to take my LADC. So while I was in treatment, I came up with a plan to go to school, go to Minneapolis College, and I got enrolled into Minneapolis College. I was at like a 4.0 to the fall of 2019, first time ever, because I suck at school. I had like a straight C average, maybe. You know what I mean? School was not. I was.
Congratulations on that.
Yeah.
I don't believe I was anywhere near that.
So I had finally just found a new mindset, I guess, and because I was passionate about the topic. I was passionate about becoming a counselor. Like that was something I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then the pandemic started, and I can't do distance learning. So
No, I can't do distance anything.
it was horrible. So because I can't do homework, I can't sit at home and just do that. It was I sucked at, like I said, I was a C student. So I needed to wake up in the morning, get ready. Go to Minneapolis College is a great campus. So like it's like you have to walk around, and I was like a part of a couple of clubs, like the Veterans Club. I was the president of that, and I was like the treasurer of the addiction. I was like involved. Yeah. And I was never involved in any activities before.
So is this something that you're still doing, or
no?
not really?
I'm all in on Mercado Media now.
All in.
Yeah.
Okay, so I know we talked about kind of what your next thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an end game? Like, is there a plan? Like, do you want to where you want Mercado Media to be?
That's still what I'm figuring out.
Yeah.
It's still like I said, it's an everyday process still. I don't even know. All I know is that I want to do higher quality videos, tap into more reels and shorts. Like I see you guys posting reels. Also, you guys should be posting shorts on YouTube as well, because they just started paying monetization this month.
That's actually what people may not know, is that's actually how we built up our subscription initially. Is we used to post a lot of reels before we even had content.
Let's go.
And before we even shot any interviews, we were posting a lot of reels and stuff. And actually, we just recently
that's the wave
going again.
That is the wave. So I have to start getting into that to reach more people, because unfortunately, I mean, as much as I have an amazing like live stream audience, and my live streams are they're like 2.5 hours, but a lot of people don't have 2.5 hours to sit through. They like do the reels because of that. Like they watch like a clip. So I want to start moving more of my content to that short formed, so they can access it.
You on TikTok too?
We do have a TikTok, and it's the same thing, MMP LLC News. Okay. But we try to post.
TikTok is on bullshit. With your type of content, TikTok is on bullshit.
They community guidelines within 24 hours.
Yeah, they don't.
I can't post anything like that.
Yeah, I imagine you run into that probably everywhere.
I have to actually have my monetization off on YouTube because I know that it would just get taken down.
Struck. Yeah, we did that for a long time too. Yeah, they need to work this out. These social media platforms and YouTube and all that, they need to figure this out, because it's censorship.
It really is.
It's censorship, and it's bullshit. You shouldn't have to turn your monetization off because you're posting. I mean, that's the thing too, is like you can post something that happened in the real world, in real life, in your backyard.
Literally.
And they'll strike it. It's like, this is really happening out here.
I know.
Like,
it's horrible.
Censorship.
It's horrible.
I hate the censorship, but
especially for independent creators too, because of how hard that. I mean, That's why I promote creators to get on Discord or get on a Patreon or get on like some other ways outside of Facebook or YouTube for people to support you, because if they community guidelines strike, blast you, and then what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I started after Facebook. I built that up. I'm diversifying now. I'm going to other platforms at least, so that way, like if something bad happens, then at least I have enough subscribers here.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna take long for them to try to find out where I'm at.
You got the website too.
Yeah.
Are you building the website?
I need to get. That's another thing I need to.
I think that's honestly probably the move. I was watching, to go back to Joe Rogan. I was watching Soft White Underbelly. I forget the guy's name that created it. Mark. I was watching him on Joe Rogan, and he was talking about all the problems that he has, because he does. I mean, you're a little bit in that field that he's in, where you're really out there like covering shit face to face in front of your face. But he was basically saying like, that's the key right there is your website, because he has some of his highest viewed videos and most requested videos on YouTube. Not only do they strike them, they get fucking deleted.
Yep.
And once that happens like 3, 4, maybe 5 times,
Your YouTube
they'll delete your whole account
Yeah.
and not give you any reason for it.
Yep.
You'll wake up one day and that shit will just be gone. And now you got 60 million subscribers.
Yeah,
They're all gone.
Yeah, website's a failsafe.
Yeah, website's the failsafe, and you can build your own monetization.
It's just with so much social media out here now, and like the daunting task of building that up.
Yeah.
And then with the website, it's more.
It's a lot more.
It's a lot more than that too. You gotta like, just thinking about it again is getting me stressing me out thinking about.
Yeah.
But how many and getting your website tuned properly, and I mean I spent like $700 some to get it optimized properly, and like have all the pages and tabs so that way they'd show up on Google properly, because I didn't know how to like program the page so that way it would show up.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is.
But it's important. Websites are huge.
And you're doing it. You're doing a really great job. And, like I said, I remember hearing about you. I remember seeing you, some of your actions. I didn't even know you were from here.
Oh, well.
I had no idea. And then, like I said, people started tagging you like, hey, man, y'all are not number one. This guy's number one.
I think I saw my friends on there.
Yeah.
I did see my friends on the comments.
Yeah. So, I'm glad we could get this done. I'm glad we could do this. And let's find ways to do more.
Absolutely.
Together.
I
think it's important for media to unite as well.
As I'm thinking, I'm gonna be out there again. Current events. We're gonna have another presidential election. There'll be things to talk about, and I'm more than happy to come on and just share my thoughts.
For sure.
Because I'll be out there.
Yeah, I'm hoping that we're not talking about what I think we might be talking about.
I'm
really, really hoping. Really hoping. Actually,
Yeah.
well, there's two things I'm hoping we're not talking about.
Yeah.
The current situation we're in.
Right.
Hope not. No disrespect, but then that other guy, man, that I'm not saying his name.
It's getting tense regardless. I think it's getting testy out here.
We need some new young blood.
I think so too.
In that office, and I don't know who it's going to be, and nobody's really emerged
That's
yet.
That's why I'm saying I think it's going to be like.
And not Kanye.
No.
Please.
No.
I can't deal with 4 years of Kanye.
Oh dear.
Sorry. I just can't do it. Okay, man. Well, we should wrap, but I really appreciate your time. I'm proud of what you're doing. I think it's amazing. I think it's dope that you're doing it from Minnesota for Minnesota, but covering global events. I think you're doing a great job. Your staff as well. Yeah, I want to make sure I just want to make sure you get your flowers, man. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for real.
And that's much appreciated. And again, like I said, you guys continue to do what you're doing here, because this is just a great, comfortable environment. Conversations are it's just great to have.
Yeah.
And, I mean, everyone. I don't know anybody that doesn't like listening to just nice conversations, and we just need to be having more of them.
Yes, I agree. And watch the whole episodes, not just the clips. Even though the clips are great, do that too. Tell them where to find all of your stuff, everything that you want them to go find.
You can find me on Facebook, YouTube, Mercado Media. Just search it in the search bar. You can find me on Twitter, Mercado Media. We have a Telegram channel, Mercado Media. You can find that. The links are in the descriptions, all of my live streams. So if you find one of my streams on Facebook, you can find all the links on there pretty easily.
For sure. And if you Google, just from personal experience, you can Google Mercado Media. You'll find it all.
All of it.
Mercado. Man, I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
All right, bud.
That's it. Another episode of Minnesota's #1 daily show, live on Lake Street. I am Jake Faircloth. Follow me everywhere at Jake Faircloth.
It ain't that I can't stop, it's that I won't stop. I made a few plays off a flip, now I'm on top. I'm Southside Chief, homie. Yeah. What you know about it? Lake Street legend CEO, not the co-founder. What you wanna know about me? I'm so churched up. I'm the last man standing, but I went first up. Most hated, they don't say it when I roll up. The things that people say about me, they don't say close up. Check it.